How is it going today? My name is Dwayne.
My name's Jasmine.
We're Dwayne and Jazz. Today we have for you Cable versus Booster Gold, Marvel versus DC Comics, a death battle.
Yes, we're late. We know.
We late.
We
Copyright.
Okay.
Copyright. Plague this channel.
Right.
If you guys have any reaction requests, please follow us on social media in the link in the show. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's dive on in.
Mankind has always looked to the past with regret for mistakes, and to the future for the chance to correct them. But what if the past and future could be visited at the same time?
I'd say buckle up, but where we're going, we don't need seatbelts. Wait a minute, is that the right quote?
The time-traveling warrior mutant from Marvel.
And Booster
I
Gold,
don't know
the
that.
greatest DC
Booster
Comics
Gold?
hero
No.
you've never heard of.
I don't know him.
It's our job to analyze their
Don't
weapons,
know.
armor, and skills to find out who would win
ain't gonna lie.
a death battle.
I'm not saying it. I just didn't know you didn't know who Booster Gold was.
No.
Our convoluted story begins with the supervillain, Mr. Sinister.
With a name like that, you'd just be disappointed if he wasn't a supervillain.
In an attempt to destroy another supervillain, Apocalypse, Sinister planned to create the ultimate mutant.
So he decided to, freeze the X-Men Scott Summers and Jean Grey. Alright, weirdo, I mean, they're already in a relationship.
Just one little problem. By the time Sinister was ready, Jean was kind of dead.
No problem for Mr. City. He just cloned Jean, got the new her in bed with Cyclops, and bam! Out popped Nathan Summers, Marvel's
Jesus.
ultimate baby.
Of course, we're talking about comic books here, so Jean eventually came back to life. After dumping the clone,
She
Scott
came
and
back.
Jean decided to raise baby Nate together.
Oh, how nice. They love happy endings.
Until Nate was kidnapped by, ironically, Apocalypse.
Oh.
Apocalypse
great.
infected Nate with the techno-organic virus,
Wow.
a liquid metal that converts organic tissue into cold, unfeeling steel.
These
It
comics is
basically said for
ruthless.
herpes. And just like the real thing, there was no cure. Trust me. Until the lady from the future showed up.
Long story short, Scott and Jean allowed Nate to be taken 2,000 years into the future in hopes of a cure. Unfortunately, there wasn't one. Because the future world was ruled by, of course, Apocalypse.
So
Great.
now, poor Nate's got an incurable robot virus and is stranded in a post-apocalyptic apocalypse future. What a ripoff.
Well, it's not all bad. As the techno-organic virus took over Nathan's body, it enhanced his strength, speed, and endurance. Most notably, he gained a powerful metal arm and a cybernetic eye that can see in infrared, track objects 2 miles away, and fire lasers.
And if any part of his
That's not bad.
robo-self is damaged, he can just put it back together lickety-split.
He's more than just a cyborg, though. His training in the future turned him into an incredible hand-to-hand combatant and tactical genius.
And like any good 90s comic book hero, he often comes to fights packing some totally awesome heat. Machine guns, laser guns, a doohickey that can control dinosaurs? What more would you need?
That's
Okay.
He's the great savior of the future, where everyone knew him by one name. Cable.
Cable.
So who wants to start?
Something.
Unfortunately, despite being in the future, he was running out of time. The virus would eventually overtake his body and destroy him.
Good thing Cable's not just any mutant. He's an Omega-level mutant, which means his power is ultra-maximum
Omega-level
Thanks to his
telekinetic.
parentage, Cable possesses incredible telekinetic power. He can move objects with his mind, create force fields, disassemble complex technology, and even manipulate matter down to the atomic level.
He
Wow.
uses this TK power to keep the techno-virus at bay. Yeah, he's constantly pushing the virus back 24/7. How does he do that in his sleep?
His telekinetic powers are so strong that he once stopped 247 enormous missiles, contained their explosions, and then funneled them out of the atmosphere.
Badass. He's also
Comics
a
got to do
telepathic
everything.
read and control minds on a planet-wide level. He can even shut your brain off if he doesn't like you.
Wow.
So I could do that to Wiz.
You can just walk up to him. I don't like you. Shut up.
He's capable of ionizing the entire planet's atmosphere all by himself, and his psionic powers extend even further.
is he,
He can physically displace
God?
light from both time and space, allowing him to teleport and time travel.
It was those
Wow.
timey-wimey powers that let Cable visit the 20th century where he met the X-Men, joining their fight for a better future in our past.
And that's how he found alternate versions of himself, like a clone named Strife, a timeline where he was a she named Rachel, and
What?
another Nathan Grey who was called X-Man.
Wow, really?
Wow.
That breaks the bank on the name of that guy, huh?
Pretty much to name himself after the
X-Man.
entire franchise.
Hey, Wiz, is that Jesus?
It is. Oh my god.
I was just gonna
Holy
say
shit,
that.
be careful of what you say in front of mutant Jesus.
X-Man's potential is incredible. A showcase of the almighty power Cable could have if not for the techno-organic virus.
So Cable said, screw this bullshit and straight up pulled the virus out of himself. What did he even grab onto?
How?
Literally rearranging his DNA to do so, which
Ugh.
is impossible.
How?
Across
Yeah.
the 70 trillion cells in an average human body, there are over 200,000 pairs of DNA. But somehow, over the course of a day, Cable could comprehend and manipulate each and every one.
Plot.
Yeah, that's why I said
Right there.
hardcore. Without that dumb virus taking him over, he's lifted a giant metal island into the sky, broke the Silver Surfer's board, and could
Nearly
even
killed the
move
Avengers
planets.
by
Alright,
himself.
Earth out of its
This
solar
man
orbit
just
by
doing
10%,
it.
Cable would have to generate 470 decillion joules of energy,
Oh my
about
God.
112 septillion tons of TNT.
Oh, I was like Booster Gold.
Force heroes, bitches! He's fast enough to fight the Silver Surfer and was tough enough to survive the Incredible Hulk.
But even with
Sheesh.
all this power, Cable knew he could never truly save the future. However, he did eventually find hope.
Yeah, like literally, it's a girl named Hope.
After so much time alone, he had finally found a family to protect. Whether it be past, present, or future, Cable will always be fighting for a better tomorrow.
Remember it, Apocalypse. The name's Cable.
Okay.
Oh, I thought Wolverine was gonna say something to him.
Booster Gold
Like, get your
is a
hand off
hero,
me.
an icon,
Who is
a
he?
brand. He's a vigilante protecting the streets of Metropolis, and also the head of his own PR company. He's a wink and a catchphrase. He's fame and fortune incarnate.
But the number one thing to know about Booster Gold, he's 100% full of shit.
Thank you.
John Carter was your average star coach.
Okay, Jasmine. Booster Gold was my guy.
Okay.
We gotta go back and watch. I think it was Justice League. We gotta go back and watch Justice
He's
League,
garbage.
and you'll see why I love Booster Gold.
Okay.
Like that's why, like, you don't know who Booster Gold
I
is.
don't.
You about to learn more about him now.
Okay.
Football player from the 25th century.
His future in the future
Oh,
was great
2,442.
until his mother caught a devastating illness they couldn't afford to treat.
Forced into a corner, Michael was caught betting on his own games in order to pay
Very
for the
sad.
treatment.
Should have moved to future Canada.
While his mother did survive, Michael found himself in jail.
Future
After his
Canada.
time, he
Well, okay,
just managed to land a job as a security guard at the Metropolis Space Museum and stumbled upon the exhibit on 20th century superheroes.
Which inspired him to become a superhero too. Kind of. Actually, he stole all the hero tech he could, and
What?
turns out it was the real deal, including a goddamn time machine. Oh yeah, great
Rip
idea.
Hunter.
Oh, Rip Hunter. Okay.
Shit lying
Whoa.
around
He's a
in the
pissed
museum
off.
that hires ex-cons as security.
Alongside his own C-3PO bot, Skeet, Michael took a trip to the past. He used his knowledge of future events to profit off the stock market and form his own company, Gold Star Incorporated.
That's pretty clever of him. Clever like a fox. Because Michael J. Fox played the guy from Back to the Future and he went back and Sports Almanac.
This PR firm and merchandising house would eventually introduce him as a self-made superhero celebrity, Gold Star.
Except
Hey,
Ronald
Gold,
Reagan
man.
misheard the name as Booster Gold and it stuck. Well, now he sounds like a trading card pack.
Don't get the
Thank
wrong
you.
idea. Michael didn't initially become a superhero for altruistic means. Even Superman, the most positive man alive, believed Booster Gold to be a huge dick.
Who could
Uh-oh.
blame him?
He is.
Booster didn't care about helping people. He just wanted to make
Fame.
a fortune on problems he already knew would happen. Sports Almanac,
Okay.
remember?
Luckily, he wasn't all talk. His stolen technology was incredibly advanced.
Like his
None of
power
this is
suit,
his.
which, despite making him look like a huge
Take
tool,
it.
increases his
Still
strength, speed, and
garbage.
toughness to superhuman levels.
His main offensive gear includes energy gauntlets, both of which can fire unidirectional blasts known as booster shots. Really leaning into that brand synergy.
Sounds like
And if an
steroids.
enemy is hit a little
God.
energy, he can
Booster shot.
redirect the gauntlet's energy through his suit, zapping the shit out of anything it touches. Or it can amp up his strength even more. He's just gotta be careful not to run out of fuel.
So does that say
His goggles
Skeet?
include heat vision, infrared, and X-ray, and his Legion
Jeez.
light ring allows him to, you know.
But at the end of the day, Booster's still an ordinary guy. He's like if Iron Man
Oh, how
were a
dare
jump
he.
loser.
How dare
He'd
he.
get his ass kicked on a daily basis if he didn't have his nifty force field built.
Potentially his most important tool of all. Booster's force field is an impenetrable wall of continual energy so dense that not even bacteria can pass through.
He can shrug off physical and energy attacks as well as weirder stuff like mind control.
from the likes
Oh,
of
so he
Maxwell
can block
Lord,
off
no less.
Cable's
A telepath powerful
mind
enough to
control,
brainwash
maybe.
the entire planet.
Maybe.
Booster can even remove his force field and wrap it around something else to protect them or to crush them into nothingness, like my heart after 7th grade prom.
Oh god.
Perhaps this suit's most bizarre ability is his mass dispersion field. Instead of blocking attacks, this field absorbs matter and spits it back out. Obviously,
Oh.
if applied to a human being, the results would be...
You're dead.
Me at my 7th grade prom.
And while
Maybe
Booster
he's not
originally
that
needed a
troll.
time machine to travel to the past, he has since integrated
We'll
temporal
see.
circuitry into his suit, allowing him to travel the time stream at will or just stop it entirely. He can even hang out with his past and future selves.
And this doesn't
Booster
cause a
managed to fight
Yeah,
alongside
anomaly
of
with him
himself
talking to
this week.
himself?
Don't
There
worry
he
about
met
it.
fellow D-lister Blue Beetle, kicking off the most wholesome bromance ever.
To be fair, Booster wasn't just an empty charlatan. Sure, he used his future technology to pretend he had superpowers, but as time went on, his acts of heroism became real and often required sacrifice.
Oh.
Perhaps his friendship with
so
Blue
I
Beetle
knew
helped
who
mold him
some
into the selfless hero he
Thank
later
you.
became.
As much of a doofus as he can be, he's also kicked his fair share of ass. He's managed to go toe-to-toe with heavy hitters like Doomsday and Maxima.
He's moved quick
Doomsday?
enough to dodge beams of light, even flying fast enough to keep up with Flash and tap into the Speed Force. You know, the extra dimensional
What?
energy field
How?
that controls all kinetic energy in the
Huh?
multiverse.
And his force field
Okay.
is no joke. It took hits from gods like Trigon. It even withstood a blast that was breaking down the Earth at the subatomic level.
It doesn't make him invincible. His force field is powered by
I was
the
gonna
same
say,
energy
he should
source
not
as
get
his
hit.
gauntlets, so using too much of either will deplete the other.
He's also a huge showboat and will take any opportunity he can to get rich quick. Like the time he and Blue Beetle stole Justice League funds to set up a casino on a tropical island.
What?
Which turned out to be a lie. True story.
Oh, wow.
Weird.
Booster's story is, if anything, the journey to humility. After years of hero work, he was offered membership with the Justice League of America. And yet, he turned it down, knowing the damage such a thing could do to history.
Instead, Booster chose to travel the time stream, repairing its cracks and saving the multiverse. His mom was pretty proud of him.
The important thing is that he chose a life he could not publicize. He'd be saving the world behind the scenes. It may not have been what he originally planned, but Booster
'Cause he
Gold
can't
would
mess up
ultimately
the
become
timeline,
the
right?
greatest hero you've never
I
heard.
guess.
So you can't mess with the
I am
timeline.
Booster Gold, the greatest hero you've never heard of.
I just hate his costume so bad.
That just looks so corny.
Like, why didn't they just give him the regular costume that they made? Like, I just,
I don't
ew.
know. So he's like, it just confuses me that he's like, you know, saving people from behind the scenes and saying that it was somebody else that he doesn't mess up time. But yet he could talk to himself or multiple versions of himself.
Yeah,
and that
I-
don't mess up
I-
nothing. That
that's fine. I
doesn't do
didn't-
anything. It doesn't cause a rip in time.
I didn't write the story. Just
So-
go with it.
Time for a damn battle!
Oh,
What
it's
are you going
time.
for?
I'm gonna go with Booster Gold.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Cable.
It feels like he's gonna go with Cable regardless.
I just want to see how this fight's gonna go because he could block out the little
Yeah.
mental stuff that Cable could do.
Cable kind of OP. I ain't gonna lie. We
Cable
gonna see.
kind of thick.
Do you mind? You're hogging my spotlight here.
Uh
You look like an idiot.
oh.
He is.
Oh, I get it. You want to take on the champ to boost your street cred, right? Oh, okay.
Street cred.
Well, if it's a fight you want, it's a fight you'll
Look
get.
at the audience.
Pavement will be stained with your blood.
Mm.
What?
He's like, wait a minute.
Is this guy serious?
Yeah.
Yes,
Move.
he will fight you.
Oh, thank you.
Showboating.
Thank you.
Ooh.
I kind of want Cable to win though, because this dude stole stuff.
Yeah.
Like, so
Yeah.
I kind of like this thing happened to Cable. Other dude just took it.
All right,
Oh.
douchebag. You want some of this? Let's see how far you fly.
Nothing.
Kinder Bueno. And creamy hazelnut filling. It's Kinder Bueno.
You
Idiot.
look like a girl.
It's like that didn't hurt me.
Right.
Did you just punch me into next week. A million next weeks.
Yes.
Literally.
He's trying to get you out of here.
Literally punched into this.
Ooh.
That was kind of funny.
Yeah, bro.
Oh.
Ooh.
I'm ending this farce.
Oh. Traveling time.
Jurassic period.
He's gonna take control of the dinosaur.
Right. They got a dinosaur about to pop out right
Yeah,
now.
he's gonna take control of it.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Why did dinosaur? Why it look like
Why
that?
it look like that?
Why it look like it's from Newgrounds?
I set this up while you were playing roadkill. Funny how time travel works.
Oh, now he can break out of it.
Hey, I can do that too. In fact, it's kind of my thing. So, here's an army of
Looking
bees
somebody that
from
they just
every second
rounded
we've
up.
fought so far.
How is that even possible?
Like, how is he not causing an effect in time?
That's what I'm saying. Uh-oh.
Enough. Turn those shields off.
Nope, can't.
Oh, no! A voice in my head must remove force speed. Fine. Your time just ran out.
Uh-oh.
No, wait. Do you think you made me turn my force field off?
Right.
No. It's too strong for that. I gave it to you.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, to crush. You can do that.
I'll see you in hell, you goddamn golden asshole.
Tough.
Oh.
Jesus.
Ah.
Wow.
Who's terrific?
I'm mad that that's the last line.
No, seriously?
I know
Right.
it seems ridiculous, but
Seriously?
Right.
How did that golden dingus beat mutant Jesus?
well, it
Basically,
sounds
yeah.
crazy at first, but Booster Gold actually had everything he needed to take
You
Cable
just
out.
have to block out the
Cable's
mental
powers
stuff.
were way more versatile and deadly than Booster's, and his lifetime of experience in the trenches made him the more well-rounded
Oh, that's
soldier
sad. I
overall.
was hoping for
But
him to
Booster
lose,
had
too.
plenty of deadly weaponry in his own right, though his saving grace was that force field,
Sure, that thing
Yeah.
survived some crazy stuff.
including every single thing in Cable's arsenal. For example, Cable's telekinesis could move a planet and rearrange cells, right? Well, Booster's force field survived planetary destruction at the subatomic level, similar to a nuclear bomb, but on a massive scale worth about 14 tenatons of TNT. Over
Oh my
100,000
God.
How do you even
times
calculate
greater
that?
than
Oh my
Cable's power.
God.
What the hell is a Yoda ton?
40
Yoda
zeros,
ton.
bitches!
Yoda.
Holy mutant Jesus! And remember, his gloves use the same energy as the shield, so that means Booster is packing some serious heat.
Even in Cable's fight with the Silver Surfer, while he managed to keep up for a short while, once the Surfer got serious, the fight was over pretty quick.
Meanwhile, Boosty's over here in the same league as speedsters like Flash.
How is he
And
going
I
to
know what you're
Speed
thinking.
Force?
What about Cable's mind control powers? Well, Boosty's shield protected him from Maxwell Lord.
Whose mental powers, like Cable's, could also span an entire planet.
Okay.
Yeah, Cable looked a lot better on paper. But
Yes.
he just didn't have a surefire way to put Booster down for good. And Booster had exactly what he needed to nab a victory.
This is one of the awkward things about comparing heroes from different franchises. Cable may be a gritty badass and Booster may be a silly goofball, but
Yeah.
those distinctions mostly matter in their own worlds. In Death Battle, we have to compare them directly, and sometimes that means a hero no one's ever heard of wins.
Booster didn't just win, he took home the gold.
The winner is Booster
They had to
Gold.
explain that because it's gonna be people mad in the comments.
You know-
They're
yes,
gonna be like,
yes.
How dare you?
Exactly.
All
Next
right.
time.
Kakashi?
Kakashi versus who?
And Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan?
Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Kakashi?
Hold on. Mentor versus mentor. Okay,
Right.
hold on. Oh, wait.
That's today.
How's that gonna work? Now I just thought about it. How are they gonna do Kakashi versus Obi?
I have no clue. I have absolutely no clue how
That's
that's.
all.
Kakashi gonna try to hit him with a Chidori. He just gonna get rid of it like he did in the movies.
I don't know how that's gonna work.
He
We just
gonna
gonna,
deflect it.
we just
like,
gonna have to see, Jazz. We just
I
gonna
don't
have to
know.
see. I don't know, but this was a fun episode. This was a really funny episode. I enjoyed this one a
Cause
lot.
I truly didn't know we
Booster
won.
Gold was
Yes.
like I watched the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited a few years back. So I know, and it was good. Like, I was never like, thank you, Netflix, because that's where I watched it at. So I was able to binge watch all the seasons. I don't think Justice League all the way through, but definitely Justice League Unlimited.
Right.
Watch that. That was, Justice League Unlimited was fire. So, yeah, so that's how I know about Booster Gold. Because I like, who the hell is Booster Gold? Booster
I
Gold.
never heard of him.
Right.
Sound
Anyway,
bogus.
guys, comment below, guys. Let's
Don't forget to like
subscribe.
and share.